Hello, good morning, and welcome to the first ICPA instructional training video. I guess you want to know how ICPA started. Well, it's a long story.
Zip it, Granny, we haven't got all day.
Okay, it's a short story. We met at this hotel that we're filming, Linda Westerfield and I, in 2001, and ICPA began the very next weekend. We met, had lunch, came up with the name, and a whole lot of other stuff that is still intact today. Let me take you on a small journey of introductions and how it all fits together. And thank you for coming.
So, what was the thought process behind starting ICPA?
To be honest, it was at a conference at DFW Hilton. Linda and I were both there at an expediter seminar. And there was a question asked, and one of the brokers said, I'll take the question back and ask the brokerage community. And Linda and I had met for the first time there. And we were outside chit-chatting during a break, and I said, one of us said, there isn't an organization just for compliance people. And then the other one said, well, let's just start one. Literally, we met for lunch the next week, came up with the name. Actually, the name we came up with was International Compliance Professionals. And then someone said, you don't want to be called ICP. And then the question and answers were the first thing we did. We started in April of 2001, and by Christmas we had over 400 people on the distribution list. And I told Linda, this is something here. We got something. Wow. And we're going to need to package this something before somebody else does.
That's crazy.
It was.
Okay, I get it. So it's an email distribution list, and you're trying to, I guess, exchange information between trade compliance professionals. How did you come up with the question and answer format as it is today? Like, what was the thought process behind that specifically?
Truthfully, it's never changed from the very beginning. I knew right off the bat we didn't want to include anybody's name or their company, just to protect people who may put a question out there that's going to get them in some legal trouble. Mm-hmm. The format that you see today, aside from it saying ask the membership and being on a professional server, has not changed. We send the questions out one day, we collect the answers for 2 days, and the second day in the afternoon the answers go out.
So basically, if I'm a trade compliance professional, I have an opportunity to ask over 2,000 trade compliance professionals very specific questions that can help me in my job. In my
Actually,
day-to-day.
yeah, over 3,000.
Oh wow! I mean, it's very well thought out. It's a great tool. So that kind of brings me to 2020. You guys have an annual conference we have an annual conference that sells out every year pre-COVID with 850 members, which is probably at least 2 to 3 times the size of anyone else in the industry's events.
Yeah.
With about 250 people on a waiting list just to get into it. So how do you go from a small distribution list of question and answers to arguably the most popular conference in your industry?
It wasn't by accident. It wasn't just dumb luck.
Right.
One of the things that's really important to me is the customer service aspect that you see with the Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney is one of my heroes. I have a big poster on my wall of Walt and Mickey holding hands. And one of the things that was critically important from the very beginning, and anybody who's been on a conference committee has heard me say this, it can be all the fun in the world, but if you don't have excellent content, people will not come back. So you offer a great product at a fair cost. It's like anything you're merchandising, but as time has grown, the people who were going to other industry seminars and conferences came to ours and say, this is different. There's a different vibe. This is a family. And we have always said and considered ourselves a special community.
Right.
And I think that's it. We produce a great product. And we work hard at doing that.
And you certainly could argue that there's never a dull moment.
We try not to.
I think you've been caught in costume once or twice, I believe.
I love it. I love costumes. Because Halloween is really important to me, and I get opportunities throughout the year to play Halloween. It's awesome. One of the other things I think that was important is that we knew we had to put on a conference, because that's how you make money. We sat down and made a list, literally, of all the things we hated about other conferences. And I said, okay, let's not do any of these. You'll see under dress code, it'll say there isn't one, and the fashion police will not be in attendance. Wear what you're comfortable in.
Right. Well, I think it speaks to your family environment.
Exactly.
Everybody knows everybody.
We've not had anybody show up in pajamas or anything, although there's an idea.
Right? Yeah, the sleepy time.
And I did get nice new pajamas for Christmas, so.
Oh, there you go. I'm sure with the virtual world, many people are showing up in pajamas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, being part of the family, I'm privy to some information about things that go on behind the scenes. And one thing that not a lot of people might know about is that all ICPA does to give back. Like, I know that we have had a service dog at one of the events because we give money to Patriot Paws, and there's some other things. We don't give speaker gifts, we give charitable donations. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
At each conference, rather than give gifts to the speakers, which we used to, and that was a huge logistic thing because I had all these speaker gifts that I had to transport to the conference site, we give on behalf of the speaker a donation to a local charity. We have given money to a hospital in Toronto. It's called literally the Hospital for Sick Children. We have given money to a homeless shelter for battered women. In Europe, our European charity is a hospital, or not a hospital, it's a school in Zimbabwe. We have built a library, we have given them electricity, because in Zimbabwe, 3,000 euros goes a very, very long way. I think it costs 15 euros a month for a child to go to that school.
Wow.
And we've just done all kinds of stuff, and that's an organization called Durlstone. We also give away both the spring and fall semesters, $15,000 in scholarships to the members and members' families.
So,
and there's so many other things. I can't remember everything we've done.
Of course, but you've got all this money that's going out, and yet the argument could be also made that you not only have a popular event, but it's cheap, economical to attend the conferences, and in fact now you give a year away free, right?
Yeah.
So how do you find yourself to be so charitable and yet profitable while keeping the costs lower than anybody in the industry?
We're a nonprofit, so we don't need to make a ton of money. We need to make enough money from our conferences that it pays all of the staff and the contractors that help ICPA run. We have Canadian Council, Daryl Pearson. We have U.S. Council, Larry Hansen. And we have European Council, John Grayston. They keep us out of trouble whenever they can.
Welcome to Toronto, home of the ICPA Canada Conference, and one of my most favorite cities in the world, May through September.
Welcome to London. God save the Queen. Welcome to Amsterdam.
Welcome to Ireland. Welcome to China.
I hope this helps you understand how ICPA came to be, how it all fits together, and how you, as part of the executive team, help make ICPA a network of people, and a world of knowledge.